What is up, everybody? Thanks again for the support. We're closing in on 2.3 million as of me recording this video, and it has been a special moment. Certainly for me, a special campaign, considering what this means for my life, my family's life, and the fact that I am able to live out my dreams, definitely as a comic book sort of publisher, owner of a company, and having so many people enthusiastic about comics, both new fans and old fans, and it's just been an amazing experience. And we will be soon doing our content series over at Rippaverse Comics, talking about like what's next, because you have to understand the scale of this sort of changed, and it's a good problem to certainly have. And I wanted to, in this video, kind of talk about some things, and I want to, because it is centered around the success of the campaign. This was going to bring out certain folks, and we already knew that. And this has been such a I'll tell you what, this is going to be the only time that I really kind of address this right here. I think there's an overarching theme kind of here that we can address, so we can address multiple fronts, multiple things, just by simply addressing this. But I have no desire to sit here and like have some plex with a smaller creative or anything. Definitely when that's sort of based on envy or the fact that they don't like that I'm doing things the way that they think I should be doing. Like, I don't really care for that. I got customers to certainly satisfy in that regards. And if they're going to have this sort of crab in a bucket approach, then that is certainly their business, and they're going to just have to do that. But I do want to address this and address it once. So someone brought this to my attention, which is very interesting. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and look at it right here. Y'all can see that. Yes, you can. So Black Sands Entertainment, I've never publicly said anything bad about what they are doing. Like, I've been asked about them. You've heard people ask about them in my streams, because they look at it like, well, these guys are trying to do some original black characters in their content. And I'm like, whatever. I've never tried to make an enemy out of them or anything. So this was kind of out of left field, and it goes to show how deep sort of this envy stuff runs. And I knew that this was going to happen, that when we saw the amount of success that we saw, there were going to not only just be those that are so protective of the old guard, but there's also those who present themselves also as detached from, let's say, what a Marvel or a DC does. And they look at it like, well, that person's a threat to me. And they look at it like, well, I've done all this work and I've done all this, that should be me. And you can hear that, or see that rather, oozing out of what it is that they're saying, that they would somehow try to make an enemy out of all the things that would get people upset and irate, considering, you know, what it is that I'm doing is me starting a comic book company. That's certainly interesting. But he's made several posts certainly about me, and I just want to address kind of what this approach is. So first thing that I see here, and this was what I saw someone share on my Twitter, I believe it was. And he says, the Black Sands Entertainment Instagram, this is blue check marked as well, so it's not like just some random page, says, we always said there's a lot of money in the Sambo life. Interesting. The Fox News article, exactly what I expected. People will still argue with me that this guy isn't exactly what he been for the last few years. So I don't know if he's been talking about me for the last few years or what, but Fox News covered the article. Is a pretty mild article if you actually read the contents of the article itself, and basically saying what it is that we're doing. It's really mild, but it's one of those things where, hey, the people that they like, or excuse me, dislike, or are told to dislike, are speaking about me in a favorable way, and that they don't like that. And I'm going to bring that whole idea home here in a little bit, and it's going to, hopefully this guy can actually learn from what it is that he's doing, because this is a grave sort of mistake, and it's unnecessary. And he continues again. He says, I'm sorry, but if Fox News, Stormfront, 4chan, and others support a man, I absolutely cannot. Last time I checked, those platforms prefer an annihilation and banishment of my race. Interesting approach. To those saying the Rippaverse is just like me, unapologetic, why do the same platforms have endless racist posts about my company and pure hatred, yet love him. Maybe that's something that you need to go address to them if you think that there are individuals within whatever entities that you're talking about, none of which I control, by the way, and none of which have anything to do with my business. Maybe you should go take that up with them, but nobody's came at me about annihilating certainly my race or anything directly. I would deal with it accordingly if that was absolutely the case. So I'm not even sure where this man or this person that is controlling this post and willing to publicly do this has anything to do with it. It's stemming around, well, the people that he does not like for whatever reason is they speak about me positively. I don't know what he's even talking about with 4chan and Stormfront. I've never talked to anybody over there or anything. Again, and this is one of the more interesting posts because it was the most irrelevant one. And let me refresh this because maybe something's going on. Hold up. Let's see. Oh, man, don't go down on me now. Or did I get blocked or something? Did I get blocked as I'm recording this? All right, hold on. We'll get it fixed, because I think I can get that post shown to you all. Let me try to get it, and we'll get what it is that he said. Yeah, I don't know if I got it. Probably is just a bug or something, but it's fine. Someone took a picture of that for me on Twitter, and I'm going to pull that up. Here it is right here. So this person says same thing, and that post that I was just about to click on says, "I'll just rest my case here. Believe what you want. My crew is all black. Everyone I affiliate with is an ally to black causes. You guys really championing a dude that goes out of his way to champion Kyle publicly." Now, again, what does that even, like, what exactly are you upset that people are stoked about this? And then you show a picture of me and Kyle Rittenhouse. This is for those that may just be listening in. This was at Blaze. That was that show that me and Kyle Rittenhouse was on with me and Yaku that day. And we talked about really what it is that he had planned to do about holding media accountable in his own like kind of little effort and all of that. Again, pretty mild. And I guess me taking a picture of this with Kyle Rittenhouse was such a problem. But I don't understand how that has to do with like this whole allyship of black causes and all that. Ironically enough, this is coming from the man who, there's so many folks that still think Kyle Rittenhouse killed black people. One of the guys killed was just so loosely thrown around, the N-word, white guy, of course, pedophile, and all of that. And that was that's what happened, of course, out of that. And even when he got his first sit down, he was talking about, oh, he supported Black Lives Matter and all of that, said Kyle Rittenhouse. And apparently me just taking a picture with him, and I don't know what he's talking about championing. I mean, it's just a picture here. What that has to do with anything. But maybe this is it right here. Of course, we've seen a lot of support here, and there's another thing that I'm going to pull up right quick for you guys as I am doing this, because maybe this is why this person has some issues here. So as this wrong thing, that Instagram thing is apparently just not going to work. So let me pull it up here. Bam, there we go. That's what we want right there. That article. So I looked into this because apparently earlier this year, maybe this is what got this guy upset. If you go look on this person's Instagram as well, or this company's Instagram, it says #1 black publisher. That's something that they, of course, take pride in. And of course, he's bragging about everybody's around him's black. And then he talked about, I guess, everybody that's I don't know, maybe working with him, maybe the artists and what he's referring to are black or their ally, whatever. I don't know what that means, considering the fact that, well, everybody that I've worked with have, some of them are black, some of them are not, various other races. And I never set out to just sit up here and do something specifically for one race or anything. This is about making good comic books and keeping people certainly entertained. And maybe that's why you had to do this. And maybe this is why he's mad. As the article says, Black Sands Entertainment secures $500K deal on Shark Tank with Kevin Hart and Mark Cuban. So you certainly don't have any issue getting invested or bankrolled by a rich billionaire white man, and you actually brag about all the corporate press covering you, and in your like Instagram bio, you've been on this Forbes and all this other stuff, and apparently that's certainly fine for you to do. But God forbid that Fox of all people speak about me in a positive way, and now somehow you take an issue with it. And this is the crab in a bucket mentality, as you can see. Talking about them securing something, 5% return from their brand, asking for $500,000. And it piqued the interest, of course, Kevin Hart and Mark Cuban. So if they invested in your company and all that, all right, great, whatever. You went on a show owned by a mega corporation and what is it, ABC, and you got some money and whatever. I'm not knocking anybody for having to go that route or whatever, but you got to understand how not only hypocritical, but how goofy it is that you're trying to make an enemy out of me, someone that was not bankrolled in terms of what my aspirations were. I just put something out that got people interested, and yeah, they paid for the product. That's all that it did. I didn't have to go to an investor. In fact, that was one of the talking points on one of the trailers that I talked about, and that there's no external investors here. So the person that's bankrolling this company that you're griping about because Fox News of all people said something positive about it is owned by a black man who is also married to a black woman. And you have an issue with that, and you're making an enemy out of that, which is goofy. Like, there could have been an opportunity for maybe even a collaboration effort, because again, I'm not knocking anybody in this space. And I believe that folks that just want to make good content, detached from maybe what the mainstream guys want to, the old saying is, you know, the soda rides and tide lifts all boats. There could have been something that you could have got from that. But instead, you are knocking another black man, by the way. And because you called me a Sambo, which let me get this out the way. You a sucker for exactly that. In an event that you would like to reach out to me directly and actually have a conversation about that, because you're trying to make a claim that's a negative connotation based upon my race. So what we have here is a black man disparaging another black man based upon his race, right? Not because he's just this ain't it. Well, if we disagree, and therefore he's disagreeing because he's black. No, we saw the receipts of this person actually referring to me to a derogatory term that is playing on the race. Okay, so a black man disparaging another black man because he's black and doing something, and maybe because, I don't know, you got some like crown that you think you have because you're the #1 black publisher, and maybe overnight that kind of changed. By a man that I'm not getting bankrolled by any of these cats. What I do with Blaze, for example, is a collaborative effort, and that's why my deal is structured in a way that it is when I come and I go and do my little videos of video contribution or being on the show, and I get out. You know, as a collaboration, we benefit, you know, this gets X amount of views or whatever happens out of that, you know, I get to reap the benefits. I own July and Rebel LLC. I own Rippaverse Comics, Rippaverse Publishing. I am the sole owner. There was no bankroll by way of any other, some like white man pulling the strings or anything. This is money that I had made, that I invested in myself. That I pocketed and then made something great happen. And instead of actually looking at that like it's a pocket, it's like I saw a comment there with somebody like, hey, has he said anything negative about you? No. Have I been like unapologetically who I am? I'm not one of those, oh, I don't see race. No, I'm black, and I'm black as hell. And I have no problem being exactly that. Unapologetically so. But you take issue with it because, well, maybe the guys that you think are your political enemies are saying positive things about me, which is a goofy, envious, loser type of mentality of all things to be upset at. It's that I am seeing the success that you wish you had, and it's oozing in the comments it is that you're making. Black Sands Entertainment, I'm not your enemy. Okay, as my dogs are howling, as my black wife, by the way, gets home. I'm not your enemy. And you're making it out to be it, and it's jealousy, it's envious, and we all see it. This whole concern trolling kind of thing that you're doing to try to cope with the fact that, well, you just don't like the fact that another black man is seeing success, and well, maybe he doesn't check the box that you think he's supposed to check. That's for losers, man. We're seeing the success that it is that we're having simply because I'm out there just putting out a product. I'm a libertarian, you know, I'm about liberty. I'm about voluntary exchange and all of that, but, you know, I'm just My company is just putting out good material. And because I putting out good material that has people enthusiastic about it, you know, we've reaped the benefits. And I didn't have to go on Shark Tank to go ask for $500,000 so someone else could get something off the top. Instead, I was able to invest it in myself. I invested it in myself and in my company. And then we've hired here, though you so fixated, let's say that, about, oh, well, I got black people all over. Who cares? Congratulations. It's black people that have worked that work for me on my day-to-day. Congratulations, right? But instead, I'm not dwelling on that because that's kind of superficial in the grand scheme of things. When I'm trying to pull out good content, to act like I'm just trying to appeal to simply black people, that's not what gets you the success like this. Definitely when you live in America. I'm making content for whoever buy it. And you see the makeup of some of the characters that have been introduced in our world. We got people from all sides and different walks of life that are enthusiastic and stoked on comics. And instead of, I ain't even asking for congratulations. That's not what I'm asking. But instead of just being 100 and at least looking at it like, well, this brother's out there trying to be great, you knocking me because I guess your little crown of the #1 black publisher is being threatened. You can have that. That's your business. You want to have that? It wouldn't be true anymore, but you want to have that, fine. I'm not trying to come for that. Instead, I'm trying to make good comic books and comic book materials and comic book accessories for those that are willing to buy it. That's all I'm trying to do here. And you can knock me for it, but that's your business. Being a loser, man. What you doing, dog? Like, seriously, bro, what are you doing? Could have reached out to me directly and we could have had a powwow, an honest discussion. And instead of doing that, you on Instagram being upset. Oh, yeah, because I took a picture with Kyle Rittenhouse. Get over that, bro. Come on, man. You too old for that. You too old for that. But I don't know what stipulations maybe came with your little deal that you got with Kevin Hart and Mark Cuban or whatever. But go do whatever that is, and that's fine. But this is the only time I'm talking about this. I'm not doing this back and forth. You came at me and I wanted to address it because, again, the main point, the overarching point that we can address here is the fact that, well, there are folks that look at it like, well, they've been doing things for so long. And they like, oh, they see another person see success and that's supposed to be me. I've been doing this for this long. Why ain't it me? All these people had to give him the money. He making all this money. Why ain't that me? It's a sucker way to look at it. And that's for losers. And I've never looked at another person detached from the mainstream, trying to keep things independent, do whatever it is that they're doing. No mega corpo bull crap. I ain't never knocked anybody for doing that, for doing it. And we can disagree on the quality of the content or what it is that you like. Like, that's fine. That's to be expected, especially when you're dealing with fandoms. But I'm not I don't look at someone else in an independent space seeing success as if that's a threat upon me and it's on me to try to get in their way. Like, nah, bro, that's not how I operate. Especially another brother. Get over yourself, homie.